Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday service at the One Dharma Center. This is the very last Sunday in March, and thank you for being here and practicing together as we close this month. Whether you are joining for the first time or returning again, you are all welcome here. Please take this time for yourself. There's nothing you need to accomplish. Just be present. So we'll begin our practice with bowing, followed by gentle yoga stretching with Hannah. So please all rise and stand in front of your mat. Join your palms together. Join your minds and hearts together. Let us face 일원상, one circle image. Other name is Dharma Kaya Buddha Fourfold Grace. And this circle image, 일원상, represents our true nature and the truth of the universe. Please join me in offering 4 bows in standing posture. I bow in gratitude to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite beneficence of nature and the universe. I bow in gratitude to the grace of parents, honoring the beneficence from parents, ancestors, and all those who have had a nurturing role in my life. I bow in gratitude to the grace of fellow beings, recognizing the truth of interconnectedness. I bow in gratitude to the grace of laws, which guides us, protects us, and promotes justice. You may turn to your neighbor Buddhas and greet each other with your smiles. And please, Hannah, come forward and guide us with your stretching.
we'll try standing practice. So can you bring, maybe everyone should just step to the left side of their mat. And then you could bring your right foot forward and your left leg back. And I know it's slippery with socks, so traditionally you'd have a longer stance, but since we have socks on, it's slippery. We'll just keep it a little shorter. Bend your right knee so it goes over the middle toe. And bring your arms up here. And if you can, you'll look up between the hands, and if that's difficult, you'll look at the floor ahead of you. And you'll pull the left hip forward and the right hip back. Pull the tummy in, breathe in and out, and in and out. This is warrior one. Try to straighten your elbows as best as you can and pull the arms back. We'll open to warrior two. So you keep the right knee right where it is and open the body towards the windows. This is warrior two. Gaze over the right thumb and take 3 breaths there. You're pulling the right knee back, the hips are forward, steady your breath. Drop the left hand, bring the right arm up, and we'll go to reverse warrior. Take 2 more breaths there. Relax as much as you can. On the exhale, slide your left arm down the leg. And then exhale, warrior two. We'll take side angle so the right forearm can come onto the right thigh and the left arm lifts up. If you can, gaze up towards your left hand. Press the hips forward, pull the head back, and then take your arm overhead, stretching it towards the front of the room. And if you can, your gaze remains on the left thumb. Inhale the arm up, exhale to warrior two. Okay, and we'll do the other side. Also, try not to stand like on a balance beam. Keep the feet up, rather than lined up like this. Open them up a little bit so you're a little steadier. Bend the left knee so it goes over the middle toe. And pull the body back a little bit. Left hip back, right hip forward, and arms up. 3 breaths there. Lengthening the spine. Keeping the left knee steady. And then exhale, warrior two. Good. Couple breaths there, gazing over the left thumb. Drop the right hand, bring the left thumb to the ceiling. You're gazing at the left thumb. And then reaching back, reverse warrior, sliding the right hand down the right leg. And then exhale, warrior two. We'll take a side angle. The left elbow or forearm goes on the left leg, and the gaze is up at the right hand. Hips forward, head back, reach up tall with your arm. Arm overhead towards the front of the room. Inhale, arm up, and exhale, warrior two. Good. Do you want to try it one more time? Let's do it one more time. Right foot forward. And we'll try to keep the breath with the movement. Inhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, 2. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, extended side angle, reaching the arm towards the front of the room. Inhale the arm to the ceiling, and then exhale, warrior two. Good, excellent. Let's do the other side. Left foot forward. Inhale, 1. Gaze is on the left thumb. Exhale, 2. Gaze is on the left thumb. Reverse, inhale. Gaze is on the left thumb. Exhale, warrior 2. Side angle, gaze is on the right thumb. Inhale there. Exhale the arm towards the front of the room. Inhale the arm up. And exhale, warrior 2. Good. We'll just shake it out. I think that's good. Okay. We could do more later if you want.
Please take your seat. And take your time to adjust your body on your mat or in your chair. Feel free to wiggle your body side to side, back and forth. Find the most comfortable body position for your practice. Now, Patty will guide us with the method of seated meditation.
The method of sitting meditation is simple and easy. Sit comfortably on the floor or in a chair. Breathe in, grab all your tension, and breathe it out. Open up your chest and heart, stretch up tall, and align your spine from your neck to your tailbone. Relax your shoulders and arms, then allow your hands to rest on your knees. Bring your attention to your breath. As you exhale, release all mental and physical tension. Invite your attention to abide in your chi energy field, which is called Dharma. This is located about 2 inches below your navel and is the power center for your breathing. Open your eyes and gaze downward over the end of your nose into the floor. Keep your mouth closed and allow the tip of your tongue to rest gently against the roof of your mouth. When your mind is concentrated and calm, pure and clear saliva may gather in the mouth. You may swallow it. Relax your facial muscles and notice your gentle smile. If your face or body begins to itch, do not scratch. This is just a sign of the energy circulating in your body. Simply note the itching and let it pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly so that you maintain a calm stillness and do not interrupt others. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be discouraged or disturbed by them. Simply focus on your breathing without reacting to or playing with those thoughts. Recognize them as thoughts. They will disappear by themselves. And remember, keep bringing your awareness back to your Dharma breathing center. When you continue practicing meditation for a long period of time, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation, in which the mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused, and at peace, with no distinction between self and others, time and place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, aware of our ever calm and alert spirit.
When it comes to meditation, there are many forms. Now we'll practice Sutra Chanting Meditation, pages 4 and 5. Sutra Chanting Meditation, starting with 일원상 vow.
일원상 vow. Ilwan is the realm of samadhi, beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and unbeing, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and lost the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, unenlightened people, and sentient beings. Ilwan manifests as both permanence and impermanence, fused as permanence. Ilwan unfolds into an infinite word that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is fused as impermanence. Ilwan unfolds into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings. According to how we use our minds and bodies in the four forms of birth, we transform through the 6 forms of existence, progressing or regressing with grace arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwan's Dharmakaya Buddha by cultivating our minds and bodies deeply, knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, until we attain the great empowerment of Ilwan and become one with the nature of Ilwan. Heart Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, when deeply practicing Prajnaparamita, realized that all 5 aggregates are empty, and thus became free from all suffering and distress. So Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. The same is true of sensations, perceptions, impulses, and consciousness. So Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Emptiness, no form, no sensations, no perceptions, no impulses, no consciousness, eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, realm of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind, consciousness, no ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance, no old age and death, no extinction of them, no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, no path, no wisdom, no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva relies on therefore the mind has no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Free from delusion, one dwells in nirvana. All Buddhas of the past, present, and future rely on Prajnaparamita and attain supreme enlightenment. Therefore know that Prajnaparamita is the great mantra, is the great enlightening mantra, is the unsurpassed and unequaled mantra, which is able to eliminate all suffering. This is true, not false, so proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra, which says gone, gone, gone beyond, far beyond. Now awaken, gate, gate, para, gate, para, samgate, bodhisvaha, gate, gate, para, para, samgate, bodhisvaha, gate, gate, para, gate, para, samgate, bodhisvaha.
You may put down your booklet. Gently wiggle your shoulders, your neck and head. Your right palm down on the floor, left palm up, and stretch your side. And switch the direction. Back to center. Now twist gently your spine to the other direction. And come back to the center. This morning, our member Steve Won Jung-hyun is sharing his thoughts on attachment. So please welcome Steve.
Good morning. In the early 90s, early 2000s, I remember seeing a poster or hearing a phrase, "Everything I have ever let go of has my claw marks all over it." This famous and powerful quote is from a book, Infinite Jest, by David Foster Wallace. The quote highlights the pain, struggle, reluctance to involved in letting go. As part of my spiritual journey this year, I've been giving a great deal of thought to attachment and about letting go. Conceptually, what does it mean? What attachments I have and how I can examine those attachments to let them go and have a new perspective. I dare say that that attachment is something we all experience. Actually, it's in our biology. The brain is wired to cling. Its reward circuits reinforce grasping, and its threat systems resist letting go. This is why releasing attachments can feel so difficult. But meditation and mindful awareness literally reshape the brain. They quiet the default mode network, the part of the mind that spins stories about me and mine. They calm the amygdala, strengthen clarity and compassion, and open space around our thoughts and emotions. Neuroscience shows that Buddha and the founding master Sodison taught when we return to awareness, the grip of attachment naturally softens. The mind becomes more spacious, more flexible, and freer. Both Buddha and our founding master, Sotasan, spoke with great clarity about attachment because they both understood how deeply it shapes our suffering and our freedom. Our founding master taught that suffering does not come from the things themselves, but from the mind that clings to them. He described attachment as the mind sticking to what it likes or dislikes, and what the mind sticks, it becomes cloudy, reactive, easily disturbed. The Buddha expressed the same truth in his second noble truth. Craving, or tanaha, is the cause of suffering. He identified 3 forms of craving: the craving for pleasure, the craving for becoming, for identity, status, or self-image, and the craving for non-becoming, or for avoidance and denial. Both teachers point to the same insight. It's not life that binds us, it's our grasping to life. The founding master offered a very practical teaching. Do not be enslaved by things. Use things with freedom. He never asked us to reject the world. He asked us to live fully in it without becoming its servant. The Buddha taught something similar in the Salata Sutta, the teaching of the 2 arrows. The first arrow is the unavoidable pain of life. The second arrow is our mental reaction, the attachment, aversion, and stories we layer on top of that pain. Founding Master Sotasan's enslavement by things is the Buddha's second arrow. We suffer not because of the world, but because of the way we cling to it. In modern life, this teaching is more relevant than ever. We can use our phones without being used by them. We can earn money without letting money define our worth. We can love others deeply without clinging to them out of fear. The question is not, do I have things? The question is, do things have me? When founding Master Sotasan attained enlightenment, he declared that all things are of one body and nature. This insight cuts across to the heart of attachment. If all things are interconnected, if all things arise from causes and conditions, if nothing is permanent, then what is there to cling to? This echoes Buddha's teaching of impermanence, anicca. All conditioned things are constantly changing, and clinging to what changes inevitably leads to suffering. Founding Master Sotasan expressed this beautifully in his final verse. Being turns into non-being, and non-being into being. Trying to hold on to anything, such as status, youth, possessions, or even our opinions, is like trying to hold on to a wave. The wave is never separate from the ocean, and it never stays still. One of Buddha's most radical teachings is non-self, the understanding that there is no permanent, unchanging self to cling to. The founding master taught the same truth in his own language. The mind is originally empty and numinous. This emptiness is not nihilism. It is freedom from a fixed identity. The Diamond Sutra takes us even further. It teaches that we cling not only to the possessions and relationships, but to our most deeply held view, even our spiritual attainments. The Buddha instructs us not to be attached even to the Dharma itself, comparing his teachings to a raft. Once you have crossed a river, you cannot carry the raft on your head. even the path is something we must eventually release. When we cling to a rigid sense of self, I'm this kind of person, I must be seen this way, I cannot change, we suffer. We loosen that grip. The mind becomes spacious. The mirror does not need to become bright. It only needs the dust to settle. The Buddha warned practitioners not to be blown around by the 8 worldly winds: gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disrepute, pleasure and pain. These forces are always present in human life, and they will always arise. Founding Master Sotasan taught the same principle in modern language. Use things, but do not be used by them. Both teachers remind us that freedom comes not from stability of circumstances, but from the stability of mind. The Founding Master emphasized that in all situations, whether in stillness or in action, we should return to the one mind. The Founding Master taught this through the right mindfulness and right effort, letting go of unwholesome states, cultivating wholesome ones, and returning again and again to awareness. When we notice attachment arising, such as wanting, resisting, or grasping, we do not need to fight it. We simply return to awareness. We breathe. We soften. We remember our original nature. This is the essence of meditation and is also the essence of daily life practice. For me, this is the first step toward returning to a calmer mind state. Yet simply returning is not always enough. Without honest examination, we may find ourselves caught in the same patterns again and again. As the saying goes, repeating the same action, expecting a different outcome, is a kind of madness. I believe this applies deeply to our relationship with our attachments. Through practice, we can return to a place where the mind rests in some semblance of our original nature. For that calmer ground, we can begin to look honestly, to identify the attachment, trace its origins, and discover ways to loosen its hold. This is the work of examination that can only happen in a settled mind. Personally, I'm still learning this, but I consider it a real success to recognize the arising in myself and find a way back to stillness. The reflection is ongoing. Perhaps that too is a practice, not arriving, but continuing to return. Non-attachment is often misunderstood as coldness or detachment from life. But both the Buddha and the Founding Master taught us something different. Non-attachment is the freedom to love without fear. It is the ability to act without anxiety. It is meeting each moment without demanding that it be different. The Diamond Sutra closes with a verse that captures this perfectly. All conditioned things are like a dream, a bubble in a stream, a flash of lightning, a morning star. We are invited not into emptiness for its own sake, but into the lightness of being, holding everything tenderly, clinging to nothing. When we loosen our grip, even a little, we discover a mind that is more open, more compassionate, and more at peace. Let us practice opening the hand of thought again and again until the mind comes to spacious enough to hold the whole world. So how are the things I'm clinging to, how do they look nowadays? Well, many of them still have claw marks. Some don't. But I also hope that many of those things the claw marks aren't as deep and as severe as they used to be. So the point being is that it's a continual practice that I choose to practice and do every day. One thing that we're going to be reciting very shortly is the essential dharmas of daily practice. It is one thing that the founding master gave us as a guide or as a cornerstone to help us when we're trying to return to that spacious place, to be able to examine objectively with an open mind what our attachments are and how we can address them. So in conclusion, examining and releasing our attachments does not mean we withdraw from life or that we become cold and unfeeling. If anything, the opposite is true. When we are no longer gripping so tightly to outcomes, to expectations, to how things should be, we find ourselves more present, not less. We laugh more freely, we love more openly, we grieve more honestly. The practice is not about emptying ourselves of experience, but about meeting life as it is, fully and without armor. We are still here, still feeling, still engaged, only now we are not so easily swept away. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. One of his messages I hear from his talk this morning is that awareness is the beginning of practice. And he also introduced the essential dharmas of daily practice. And it is it has the items that we can bring this awareness into lived experience. So please open your booklet, page 6. Let us recite essential dharmas of daily practice, guided by Nancy.
Essential dharmas of daily practice. 1. The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. 2. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. 3. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the precepts of our true nature by letting go of wrongdoings. 4. Let us replace disbelief, greed, laziness, and ignorance with belief, zeal, questioning, and dedication. 5. Let us turn resentments into gratitude. 6. Let us turn dependency into self-reliance. 7. Let us turn reluctance to learn into willingness to learn well. 8. Let us turn reluctance to teach into willingness to teach well. 9. Let us turn lack of public spirit into eagerness to serve the good of all.
Now, Kathy is going to share some announcements with us.
Good morning. Come up here so you all can see me. So we have a few announcements. So we have a Kyohadan meeting. So if you are in the Kyohadan, the male members will meet after service in Ilwan Hall in this room, and female will meet in the conference room for this month. And we have ways to deepen our practice, which is going to retreats. So there is a retreat coming up, which is for 50 and above, this retreat. It's called Living Our Best Now, April 9th through 12th. So this is, along with other retreat flyers, are right in the foyer. We also have one of our practitioners. Where is she? Maureen. In the back. Maureen, you can raise your hand. Maureen is giving a sound bath in River, what is it? River Tide in Catskill. So today, so if you would like to register or sign up for that, we also have that flyer in the foyer. And as well as retreats, there is a tea and conversation, which is a online gathering for people who have questions, and practitioners from all over the country come to that. So if you would like to join that, you can find that flyer online on our website. And last but not least, we have a community garden initiative it's in its second year. So if you're interested in volunteering for that or joining that, there is a sign-up sheet also you'll see by the T in the foyer. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And as we close our service, I'd like us to just pause just for a second with gratitude for our safety, while remembering those suffering from war and conflict, especially in the Middle East. So please bring your palms together and let us offer a silent prayer for world peace. With the merit of our shared practice this morning, may the suffering caused by conflict, both the loss of life and the strain on our global community, be eased, allowing all to heal and flourish. This we pray with one mind and one heart. Namu Amitabha, Namu Amitabha, Namu Amitabha, Namu Amitabha. Thank you for your prayer and thank you for your practice. Looking forward to practicing again with you next Sunday. And 교화단 meeting, which means Dharma name holders meeting, will be held in 10 minutes, 11:15.